Okay, what we're going to look at now is what's called the difference of two squares. Now, the difference of two squares is, we're going to use that to factorise anything that is in the form of a squared minus b squared. Because what you might have noticed from your expanding brackets is when I have a plus b, a minus b, I end up with a squared minus ab plus ab minus b squared. The two middle terms will just cancel out. So therefore I can use this when I'm going backwards, that if something is actually in that form of the first one squared minus the second one squared, then I can put that back into brackets, because it'll just be like a squared minus b squared. When I factorise that, will just be the square root of a, which is a, minus the square root of b, which is b, the square root of a, which is a, plus the square root of b, which is b. Notice my sign is different. It goes from plus to minus. That's to enable the middle. Like, see how there is no middle here? And if I do a two different sign, then the middle will cancel out, see? And that's quite important for establishing our rule. So just a couple of things. I just want you to realise what some square numbers are. I want you to realise that 1 is a square number, 4 is a square number, 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. That's 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 squared, should do 4. 4 squared, which is 4 times 4, which is 16. 5 squared, 5 times 5, which is 25. So if they are square numbers, then you can, and you've got two terms, it's of this form, then you look for the difference of two squares. So just have a look at a couple of these as examples, and then I want you to try some yourself. So if you had to factorise this, x squared minus 9, y squared minus 16, 25a squared minus 49, and 16a squared minus 1. Then what would you do to factorise those? Okay, if you can write them in your book and see how you go, stop the video. Okay, so just as a solution, the first one was x squared minus 9. So that's going to be the square root of x, which is x, the square root of 9, which is 3, the square root of x plus the square root of 9. Now, just for the record, it wouldn't matter if you did x plus 3, x minus 3, because there is a times in the middle, and the order that you times in doesn't actually really matter. So if you've got x squared minus 16, that ends up being x minus 4, x plus 4. The other one, 25x squared minus 49, 25x squared minus 49. So the square root of 25 is 5, and x squared is x. Square root of 49 is 7, so 5x plus 7. And part 4. Okay, now I've got 25x squared minus 49. So part 4, 16a squared minus 1. Now, I deliberately put the 1 there because I want you to realise that 1 is actually a square number. So this is going to be square root of 16, which is 4. So it's 4a minus, I might do it that way around, just so that you see they are the same thing. 4a plus 1, 4a minus 1. Okay, now there's just one more thing to learn when you're doing the difference of two squares. Sometimes you might have to take out the common factor first. Now, when you have to take the common factor out first, like say we have 2x squared minus 8, and we want to factorise that. 3y squared minus 27a squared, and let's say 4a squared minus 16 y squared. You should always be looking for the common factor first. So if you look at that, see how they're not square numbers. but there is a common factor of 2. So 2 goes into 2x squared 2 times. And then if you look at the 8 is 2 times 4. So, and this is 2 times x squared. So when you're taking out that common factor, what you're taking out is the 2. You bring the 2 out the front, and then you're having a look at what's actually left. And what's left is going to be x squared minus 4. And then you can go a little bit further. X squared minus 4 will be x minus, so it'll be, so it's going to be, so you've got the 2, and then it's going to be x minus 2, x plus 2. Okay, so let's look at the next one, common factor 3. So it's 3 times y squared, and then 3 9s, and we've got an a squared there. Now we have the difference of 2 squares. It's a square and that's a square. So it's going to be 3 y minus 3a, y plus 3a. Alright, looking at the next one, common factor would be 4. And even though it's a square number, you still have to take it out, because otherwise you'll be leaving a factor in there. 4 times a is 4a squared, 4 4s are 16. Then you take the 4 out and you go a minus 2y, a plus 2y.